Doing a throw, going to the end zone, touchdown, Parker. Picked off by Xavier Howard. Tagovailoa trying to pick up for it, fires to the end zone, touchdown! That's hard work.
What's good, Fin Nation? What is good? Special lunchtime episode. Hope y'all enjoying your ham sandwiches, your turkey sandwiches, your chicken, whatever the hell you're munching on right now. Because I almost about choked on my pizza just thinking about the stuff I got to talk about. If EM has some time, I know he's got some things he's running around doing. He said he'll join. I'm going to open it up to you guys in a little bit. After I go over some of this nonsense, I got to start off though, and address Chris Sims and Mike Florio because EM hit me up this morning. The blood pressure was boiling on EM Dolphin fan, so I tuned in on a legal stream just to see what was good. Yo, we got this. Pardon my language. We got this fucking clown. All right, Chris Sims out here. First of all, buddy, I wish I could be an NFL bust and live off my daddy's name so I could be under the assumption people gave a shit what I thought about. Anyways, continuing on with this absolute clown show. Chris Sims trying to push the narrative that Tua Tagovailoa is not a natural thrower. Chris, who touched you in your life? What uncle touched you and turned you into this absolute clown, bro? Like, it's unbelievable. You actually try to pass that narrative on. Have you not looked at the deep accuracy charts? Have you not compared him to the rookie seasons of Andrew Luck, Josh Allen, Russell Wilson, all these cats? Like, you're just coming out here spewing off nonsense, and you're not even giving off the context of this kid being a rehab body. Okay? The guy's not even in football shape. Chris Sims out here sound like a fucking casual fan, all right? A 9-game sample size, and that's the hill you want to die on, you fucking clown? Buddy, I hope you respond to my tweet, because first of all, that tweet's got more action than anything you've done on Twitter in fucking months, A. And B, if you even dare to come out of your hole and respond to me, I will fucking embarrass you and bury you on Twitter, and I will drag your ass from one side of it to the other. And your little clown show buddy, Mike Florio, tried to point out, I had Tua on a couple weeks ago, and he was dancing around the question of if he wants Ryan Fitzpatrick back. No one wants Ryan Fitzpatrick back, bro. He's done. No one wants his ass back in Miami, okay? The guy, whatever you want to say about him, he clearly had ulterior motives at work when he said, oh, Brian, you want to know what coordinator can help develop quarterbacks? Chan Gailey. I sat up here last summer in the offseason. I posed 2 questions. 1, name me a quarterback Chan Gailey has developed. I'm still waiting for an answer, and he just had a number 5 overall pick. 2, last I checked, Chan Gailey hasn't won a playoff game. What's going to change this year? Was I wrong? Okay. So everyone wants to leave out this context and just have these absolute shit takes, and they want to pass it off and think they ain't going to get dragged for it. Well, guess what, bro? Not on my fucking watch, all right? You're an absolute clown. Both of you are an absolute clown. First of all, Chris Sims wears buddy, the guy wears 3 pounds of makeup on air. Like, Jesus Christ. Bro, you wear more blush than a woman on an average day. So I don't want to hear your takes, okay? Bro, you had Jarrett Stidham ranked higher than Tua Tagovailoa heading into this season. How'd that work out? Even better. I see your little bio you got on 8-year NFL vet. Okay, should be 8-year NFL journeyman. Should have only been in the league for 1. Buddy, you threw 12 touchdowns and I think 14, 15 interceptions in your career. It took you 8 years to throw 12 touchdowns. Guess what? In 9 games, 2 has thrown 1 less. 1 less in 9 games. It took you 8 years. You're a fucking clown, bud. Absolute clown. And, bro, the more I see these idiots out here, the more I know it's just a matter of time before your boy gets offered something in the South Floridian media, because Jesus Christ. That'll be, I'm telling you right now, if that day ever happens, all these people writing these trash articles, Armando, I will be your worst nightmare. All these people writing these trash articles, I will be your worst nightmare, and I will kill all y'all when it comes to doing this right. I already do. All right? It's just y'all been doing it longer, and that goes to say even more. Y'all been out here doing it for 20, 30 years. I've been on my own channel for, 11 months? Buddy, and I'm still crushing all of y'all. Clowns, bro. Absolute clowns. Unbelievable, man. You guys are a bunch of freaking idiots. And I can't even... Oh, man, you guys, it's bad enough I got to put up with casuals on Twitter. Now I got to... And Facebook. Now I got to put up with casuals in the media. This is why I keep saying, I've mentioned some players are meatheads, you know what I mean? And then they get jobs and you're like, whoa, bro, you can't put 2 and 2 together. Why am I listening to you? But now you got guys who aren't even meatheads. They're just clowns, bro. They're just bad take artists, bro. And what's crazy is y'all be dragging my quarterback's name because he provides clicks for you. Y'all using my quarterback while you're bashing him. Bro, like the homie Richmond Webb said, someone's got to pay for this. And I cannot wait until this season when Tua makes all of these clowns look absolutely silly. It's unbelievable, man. Absolute idiots. All right, so let's hop into some stuff before I open it up to you guys, because we got some stuff I want to go over here. So let's start off with Desaun Watson, because some news came out today that people should be paying attention to, and it's pretty telling stuff, right? So people should be paying attention to this. So if you go look at what Diana Rossini put out today from ESPN reporter, she said, Houston continues to avoid conversations with teams in regards to trading Desaun Watson per sources. They are refusing to trade their franchise quarterback. Hold on a second here. So Diane is telling us they've been avoiding conversations about Desaun Watson. Yet if I listen to the national media and the South Floridian media, we've been checking in quietly, haven't we? Haven't we? Now all of a sudden, I'm hearing avoiding conversations. Where's the lie here? Either the South Floridian media is lying blatantly and gassing everyone up, which makes a whole lot of more sense when you start to decipher the people that are involved in South Floridian media. Okay. Or she's lying. No offense. I'm going to roll with Diana here. Okay. I hate to be the one to say that she's a little bit more plugged in than some of these guys in South Florida, but I'll be the one to say it. Okay. So we even got new articles coming out today about this nonsense. Before this came out, then this came out. I believe it was an Omar Kelly article. Then this came out not even an hour later. Unbelievable, man. Y'all, here's the thing. You know what's so crazy? I'm a content creator at the end of the day here, okay? That's it. I got to come up with ideas. I got to come up with guests. I got to come up with, formats. I got to come up with topics, et cetera, et cetera. This, the finish line. Bro, I even do a hockey one, too. I don't slack. I work harder than these motherfuckers, okay? Number 2, all right? How is a guy on YouTube far more creative, far more insightful than these people that are getting paid big bucks to do this? All right? That's a scary thought, man. Y'all lack so much creativity. Y'all still talking about the Desaun Watson nonsense, even though it's clear Tua's answers changed during the interviews because someone behind the scenes was telling him, you're the quarterback. Flores comes out, says we're excited to see where it goes year 2, backs up his quarterback. Chris Greer multiple times backs up his quarterback in the postseason media conference. But y'all clowns lack so much creativity that you just keep hammering over the same stuff. It's tiring, bro. I don't want to click on that crap because it's the same thing you said a month and a half ago. It's just you're rewording it and retyping it out to make it look different. Bro, and then I got to sit there and hear the justifications of, oh, we can give up all this first-round capital and build through the second, third, and fourth. Are you crazy? Why would you miss out on blue chip and blue-collar prospects in the first on the hope you're going to hit something in the third? Like, what kind of logic are these people using? Because I'm going to tell you right now, you probably could find a number 1 in the second round this year, but there ain't going to be a vast majority of them. All right? Like, it's absolutely unbelievable. Like, they just throw logic out of the window. And then their answer is, oh, well, we can restructure these guys or we can cut these guys. Like, you guys are now going to the lengths to fit your narrative, all right, by playing GM. When we all know y'all don't even have the aptitude to write these articles, let alone be a GM in the NFL. Like, bro, you go back, a lot of us were critical of Bobby McCain, yet a lot of us came away this year because year 1 at safety was a disaster. Then we come away from this year being, you know what? He played well. Buddy, he's at the top of their list to cut. What kind of logic are these people using? And we got no safety depth. Bro, Barry Jackson, love what you do. You had Clayton Fledglam and Bobby McCain on your cuts. Bro, so what do we have? What do we have? Brandon Jones basically plays the same position, does a little bit more stuff in the box than what Rowe does. So that's 2 box safeties. No single high guy. Who's playing the single high? Kevon Frazier? Unbelievable, bro. Like, absolutely. And you know I hate this word. Absolutely retarded. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Like, how many chromosomes are these guys short? Because it's getting pretty freaking embarrassing. All right? You know, like, you guys, I'm proud to be a Dolphins fan. By the majority of the South Floridian media, I'm embarrassed that our team is tied to you. Downright embarrassed. It's an absolute joke, man. Y'all don't think things through. I just proved you didn't think things through with the McCain and Fledglam thing. Oh, let's create all that space so we can go throw 15, 18 million at Justin Simmons when McCain's on a massively team-friendly contract. And I love Barry Jackson. I think he's fantastic. Me and him had a little bit of an email coordination last summer. Great guy. But come on, man. Let's start using our brains a little here. Unbelievable. Like, and you know what? You look at this, and this can pretty much dead Miami, okay? Because here's the thing. We're going to get into training camp. He's going to get started. They're going to play him out and see if he folds to the fines. I'm telling you right now. By that time, it's going to be too late. Tua's going to be in camp. The man's going to be bringing his football body to camp. All systems will be go. They ain't going to make that move. It's a moot point, man. And I think this pretty much kills that whole narrative. So, you know what I mean? Like, absolute idiocy, bro. Absolute idiocy. And I'm just going to say, I will be, y'all thought Thor. Y'all thought Thanos was bad when he snapped his finger? Yo, wait till your boy ever gets in the South Floridian media. Okay, I'll be snapping one finger. I'll be snapping both, and these motherfuckers will disappear. All right? Real talk, man. And I'm not here to be liked by some of them. I could care less if some of them like me, because I will run circles around you in football aptitude, insightfulness, and intelligence. I'll make you look like an absolute clown. So don't ever come for me, is all I'm going to sit here and say. All right? You basically got to take it on the chin from reason. Pause. All right? That's just how life. All right, let's get into keep it rolling here, because the nonsense absolutely continues. Hey, you gave me more topics for the finish line tonight. Good for you. All right, so now The Athletic, and shout out to Florida-born, Kentucky-grown $5 donation. He says, this pisses me off. Imagine how Tua feels, bro. I really hope he knows how much the fan base loves him. And please don't listen to these jabronis. Bro, the equalizer is coming, baby. All right? The equalizer is coming. And these people are going to get checked. And these people are going to be eating their crow. And you know what? I'm going to be sitting there feeding them the crow, baby. Okay? I am tired of these clowns. I am like so spent with these you know what it is. All right? And, you know, you can go get it on a t-shirt or on a hoodie right now. Y'all already know what time it is, where I'm going with this one, right? Y'all already know where I'm going with this one, right? Okay? You can go get it on a t-shirt and get it on a hoodie. Buddy, the equalizer is coming to the AFC. And to quote the great Richmond Webb, someone's got to pay for all this. All right? And y'all, it's coming, baby. I'm just going to say, I've been prepping y'all. It's coming. Right? They're lighting an absolute fire under this kid. And, you know, we're going to, as Dolphin fans, we'll reap the benefits of it. So, guys, smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't. If you'd like to donate to the channel, paypal.me/Finside. Guys, if you can become a Finside the NFL patron right now, patreon.com/Finside the NFL. I drop my big boards early. I'm going to be doing some private videos for Patreons only. I've been dropping some polls for people to participate in, $2, $5, $10, $15, and $20 level. Also, if you are a Patreon and you are not currently modded, hit me up directly. I will make you a mod. Patchvibes.com. Use code FINSIDE for 20% off your purchase. And of course, that Equalizer shirt, as well as a whole bunch of other stuff. Check out the official Finside the NFL merch shop, teespring.com/Finside the NFL. Let's get right back into it, because, I mean, the nonsense continues this morning. So the Russell Wilson gets killed, and it's shout out to the homie Steve Anderson, Jersey Finn fan, because it was absolutely hilarious. I literally said, you know, when that Deanna Rossini report came out, I said, okay, so what's next? You know what I mean? Not even 20 minutes later, literally, not even 20 minutes later, The Athletic is reporting, all right, that representatives of the Seattle Seahawks' Russell Wilson have reportedly broached the idea of a trade with the team's front office amid the quarterback's rising frustration. Michael Sean Duggar, Mike Sando, and Jason Jenks of The Athletic reported Thursday the Vegas Raiders, Miami Dolphins, New Orleans Saints, and the Jets are among the potential landing spots for the 8-time Pro Bowl selection. According to The Athletic report, some people around the league think a trade could happen, if not this offseason, then sometime in the near future. Buzz around Wilson's potential availability started on Super Bowl Sunday, when CBS Sports' Jason La Canfora, who's another clown, reported the Hawks' inability to fix the offensive line in front of him and his desire to maximize his opportunity to win consistently. Buddy, maximize his opportunity to win consistently. Oh, I'm sorry. Were you the guy who wanted to be the top paid quarterback in the league and basically forced your team to break up the Legion of Boom in your defense that was winning you championships? Oh, but now you want to win consistently when you got a contract that's hampering the team. Like, Jesus. Like, oh my God. You did this to yourself. Like, holy. And here's the thing. Apparently, he's frustrated with Pete Carroll, and apparently, from what I read today, Russell Wilson stormed out of a November team meeting, and I mean, so now he's acting like a baby. We're figuring that one out, right? So, the team's, it says here, the team's slow response to addressing his offensive line is one major force driving Wilson's departure. Wilson and head coach Pete Carroll talked about improving the club's pass protection, but the quarterback was not pleased with his coach's response. According to The Athletic, Carroll suggested Wilson should have faith in the team's plans. This guy's too much for me. So you want to come and bring your bad attitude over here? And, I would be more inclined to Desaun Watson than Russell. I mean, Deshaun's 26. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, I don't know about that. Russell's a little, go focus on your marriage with Sierra and fixing it in Seattle, bro. You know what I mean? He's 32 years old. Like, I'm good. I am good on a 32-year-old quarterback that I got to pay that kind of money to. Yeah, I'll pass. For real, I'll pass. And it's going to take like 3 firsts to get this guy. Are you crazy? Like, are you absolutely crazy? I'm good, man. I am good on that. And Russell Wilson, it already sounds like you're turning into a crybaby. So I don't want you in Miami. I got no desire to see you in Miami. It's crazy. It says, let's pose a real question here, okay? And I'm being serious because I saw another clown take, okay? Another clown take by Florio and Sims today was he'll never be Herbert. He'll never be Burrow. Okay. In terms of Tua. All right. So I got to address this one too, because that's absolute nonsense. Like, first of all, last I checked, Tua and Burrow had nearly identical numbers this season. Last I checked, Tua wasn't the one that tore every letter in the alphabet up in his knee. All right. And Burrow, who's got that sneaky athleticism and he relies on it a lot, that could be gone. And I was talking with EM, and EM said from what he's understood, the expected recovery time is 2 years because of the extent of the damage he did. So it's more than likely Burrow doesn't even hit the field this year. So what kind of level does Tua even have to reach in terms of Burrow? Now with Herbert, there's no denying Herbert had the best rookie season. Okay. But here's my thing. We promoted co-coordinators. We made a quarterback coaching hire who's not only very familiar with Tua the player, but they've had a very tight relationship continue on since the Elite 11 for years now. He understands Tua. He knows how to play to Tua's strengths. He knows what Tua's weaknesses are, to get back up and to hopefully turn into strengths. Justin Herbert is about to go through a full coaching turnover. A new staff, new terminology, a new play. Guys, even when plays are the same in one playbook and then in the other, the terminology in one playbook and the other are totally foreign to each other. So he's got to go through relearning an offense and relearning a playbook, getting familiar with new terminology, while Tua is in a totally fluid situation based on continuity. Is it really that far-fetched to say Tua takes a big leap this year and Herbert either might regress a little bit? No, it's actually not that far-fetched when you break down the context of the situation. There's that word again for me. So, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's absolutely crazy, man. Like, and unless I checked, Tua Tagovailoa, okay, he had 2 clowns. He had Chan Gailey, okay, and he had that clown of a quarterback coach that Gailey brought over him with him Sorry, my bad. That Daly brought over with him to Miami, which again, here's my thing. You know what the issue with that is? Here's what the issue for that is. Okay? Guys, Robbie Brown, another Fitzpatrick guy. Like, the quarterback coach, the offensive, they were Fitzpatrick guys. They weren't here to give a crap about a young quarterback. And what's crazy is, and there you go, Mike Mars. Thank you very much. Offensive Rookie of the Year quarterbacks have gone backwards second year. Sam Bradford, RG3. I'm glad you brought up RG3. Thank you. Good point. Here's the thing. Guys, remember, Andrew Luck was the high prospect. RG3 was the number 2 prospect. Who won Rookie of the Year? RG3. Who had the longer, albeit it was cut short by Colts management, who had the longer and more fruitful career at the position? Andrew Luck or RG3? So again, whether it's 9 games, 15, 14, are we really going to put all this stock in year 1 means you're a bust or you're not? You know how short-sighted? Baker. Look at Baker Mayfield in his first year. The guy didn't play a full season, and he tied the quarterback passing touchdown record for a rookie. Then y'all already know how I feel. They brought in OBJ. I thought that was the wrong move because you brought in a veteran guy who was clearly in Baker's ear. And, that stops and stunts the growth and development of a quarterback in terms of processing, because then they get it in their head, oh, if this guy's even got a half of a foot on the guy, I got to throw it his way, right? So it stops you. If that's your first or second read, it can stop you from going to your other reads and developing as a processor, right? So, I mean, and then, hey, and I was saying that for how long, and then OBJ went down, and look at how good they were without him. I just want to say I'm even right when it comes to other teams, let alone Stephon Diggs. Told y'all and warned y'all about the leap Josh Allen was going to take. No one believed me. People were in the comment section saying, oh, you're a Buffalo fan. Oh, you need to get a Bills jersey. And here I'm sitting back being like, Barry Horowitz, baby. Pat on the back. Called that one. So if there's one thing I know, it's quarterback. So, it's just absolutely. Russell Wilson is now the new narrative. And it's like, here's my thing, too. Why aren't the Bengals in this conversation? Seriously. Burrow had a way better running back, had way better receivers in his core. Okay. You could probably, the offensive lines are somewhat comparable. I think ours is slightly better. But he still put up identical numbers, and he could miss the next 2 seasons or season and a half. And it's a very real possibility he might not be the same player he was. Why aren't we hearing about the Cincinnati Bengals interested in one of these guys? Like, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, man. Why, and guys, I'm not religious. What are we targeting, the Christian guy? What are we targeting, the humble kid who puts a smile on his face? What's the motive here? Because I'm starting to get the feeling, that there is some ulterior motives in place here. Like, why is my guy being the one that's targeted by this? It makes no sense to me, man. Makes zero sense to me. And again, I would get DeShaun because he's 26. If you want to base him on age, you could say he's number 2 behind Mahomes. But I'm not about to sell the farm and give up on a young, one of the best quarterback prospects to come out who wasn't even football ready, who had an offensive line that allowed 187 pressures, who was in top 3 in terms of the drops he had to deal with, and a receiving core that was in bottom 3 in the league of separation on yards per route. Oh, but it's Tua's fault. Such narrow-minded, simple-minded takes. It's unfucking believable. Oh, Justin, don't even get me started on that. I know you've seen the tweet, man, and I've called some people out on that. Bro, it's like people have a little bus card, right? They have a little bus card in front of them, and, you got white, a little less white, you're starting to borderline on, you're not white. Then under that, you got, oh, well, he's brown. He's a little bit browner. He's a little bit black. And the brown, the browner, and the black are labeled as a bust. And all the white colors are labeled as, oh, he's going to be a success. It's unreal, bro. Like, it is unfreaking real. Now, I get if people are concerned because me and Ballgame pointed out on the All-22, there was stuff that he needs to improve on, but what rookie doesn't? Herbert won the Rookie of the Year. Did he look like the Rookie of the Year against the New England Patriots? I'll wait. Did he look like the Rookie of the Year against the Miami Dolphins? I'll wait. Last I checked, buddy, he had like 120 yards going into the fourth quarter against us. And he had to have more attempts and more completions to barely surpass Tua in yardage. Last I checked, Tua, Belichick took away the passing game from Herbert. He couldn't figure him out. Tua had the passing lanes taken away, and he figured it out, and he won the game. 2 rushing touchdowns. Last I checked, we put up, 22 points that game? You take off those 2 rushing touchdowns, we lose. Just saying. Like, absolutely unbelievable stuff, man. Like, I'm getting sick of these. I'm getting sick of these half-tards. I really am. I'm sorry. I'm getting sick of it. And I'll be the one to call them out. I got no problem with that. I live for it. You know what I mean? I got no problem doing any of that. Jesus Christ. All right. So I got a couple more things, and I'm going to open it up to you guys. I'll be dropping the link. I'll be dropping the link, and we'll go from there. But I just got a couple more things I want to go over. All right, so just this one's an important thing for all of us to pay attention to, and it's going to segue into something I want to show you guys because I talked about it yesterday with Matt Valdovinos, but I didn't fully show you guys what we were talking about. So let's start off with this. So the pro day schedule, guys. When we go over the pro day, all of the collegiate pro days, they've been released. Okay, so why isn't this working all of a sudden? There you go. So Kansas, March 5th, Kansas State and Northwestern, and Wisconsin Whitewater, March 9th. Remember, after that pro day, Quinn Meneras at some point will be coming on Finside the NFL, guys. So be on the lookout for that. March 10th, Arkansas, Marshall, Maryland, Wisconsin. March 11th, Clemson, Nevada, Texas. March 12th, Arkansas State, North Dakota State, Oklahoma. So that'll be very interesting, obviously, because Trey Lance, Army, Kent State, Middle Tennessee State, Vanderbilt. March 16th, Georgia Tech, Temple. Shout out to Dante Colonelli because he covers Temple. If you guys didn't know, he's one of the head guys there. So, and then you got on March 17th, Arizona, Georgia, Illinois, Pittsburgh, San Jose State. 18th will be, I don't care about your little pro day here about Trevor Lawrence. Get off my screen. That pro day was not impressive. March 18th will be Auburn, Buffalo, Central Texas, Louisiana Tech, Louisiana Monroe, Stanford, Troy, and Virginia. The 19th, Memphis, Ohio, TCU. March 22nd, okay, that'll be Air Force, Bowling Green, Colorado State, Florida State, Iowa, Missouri, and Toledo. Why is this clown stuff? I already closed you. March 23rd, Alabama. people will be keeping an eye on that. March 23rd, Alabama, Central Michigan, Iowa State, Nebraska, and Purdue. Shout out to the homie Rondell Moore. March 24th, Michigan State, Mississippi State, South Carolina, USC, Virginia. Obviously, Elijah Vera Tucker will be, someone to pay attention to there. March 25th, Georgia Southern, Massachusetts, Mississippi, North Texas, Penn State, Micah Parsons, San Diego State, SMU, Tennessee, Western Michigan, 26, Boston College, Hunter Long, the tight end will probably be the guy to watch there. BYU, Michigan, South Dakota State, Virginia Tech. March 29th, Arizona State, so Darby and all those guys. Duke, Louisiana Lafayette, Miami, Ohio, North Carolina, Washington State. March 30th, East Carolina, and we're getting closer to the draft here too, right, guys? Like it'll only be like under a month by the time we get to these points. Louisville, Florida Atlantic, North Carolina, Ohio State, Texas A&M, Tulane, Washington, and here's the big one. Okay, so March 31st, Baylor, Boise, Florida, Kentucky, LSU, Notre Dame, Wake Forest. I got to come back to that in a sec. April 1st, Fool's Day, Minnesota, North Carolina, Charlotte, Oklahoma State, Oregon State, South Florida. April 2nd, Indiana, Oregon. So we'll be watching Penei Sewell there. April 7th, Texas Tech. And then the 9th will be Ball State, Houston, and UAB. All right, so back here. March 31st, guys. March 31st, because you got to remember, it's kind of like a weird, you're only allowed 3 scouts in attendance at these pro days. That's where you're going to be getting your measurables. There's not going to be a combine technically, but there is. They just spread it out. So, it'll be up to colleges and NFL teams to set up the interviews, right? So, the homie Rondell Moore has already interviewed with some teams. All right, so March 31st, LSU. Okay. And I've been hammering this, and I don't know why people aren't paying attention, but I'm on Twitter, but let's keep it rolling. Okay, Jim Nagy put out a fantastic tweet that got me thinking, that I think got other people thinking, and this is a valid concern when we talk about JaMarr Chase. So, LSU listed Justin Jefferson at 6'3". He ended up 6 foot, a little over 6'1". Okay, so 6'0" is 6 feet. The 1 is your 1, and then 2, right? So LSU, they list JaMarr Chase at 6'1", 200 pounds. If there ends up being a similar discrepancy, Chase will be 5'11". Kadarius Toney, 5'11", 189. Similar size, 2 different skill sets. That is a very, very interesting little tidbit. And the reason why is because the next day, a picture came out. And you love picture time, don't you? So here we go. Guys, Devontae Smith and Jefferson. Well, Devontae's listed at 6'1". You saw the confirmation there that that Justin Jefferson is 6'1". Well, here's a picture of Devontae Smith on the left, Justin Jefferson in the middle, JaMarr Chase on the right. Buddy, he is shorter. He is 1.5 inches, 2 inches shorter than... Bro, I don't care how rocked up you are, okay? All right? I don't, because we've been dealing with that for how many years with Jakeem Grant? What does it equal to? Let's be honest with ourselves. And that's why people making a deal about these calves on Twitter. Last I checked, JaMarr Chase and Devontae Smith, similar calves. What kind of year did Justin Jefferson just have? Just saying. So, I mean, this guy's going to come in at 5'11". This guy is about to come in at 5'11", and people out here want to take a guy who's only got elite traits at the catch point, a 50-50 contested ball guy who's nowhere near the best separator when you talk about the top receivers in this class, And now he's going to measure in around 5'11", but let's take him. Are you crazy with me right now? And I think he's going to run in the 4.5 range. I love Louis Riddick. I like what he does, but I saw him suggest 4.45. Bro, you're crazy. I would be shocked if he came in at 4.45. Absolutely shocked. Guy ran a 4.66 in high school. All of a sudden, he's going to knock off, what, 0.21 seconds off of his time? And I also will preface this. You got to remember, running a 40 and running on a football field are two different things. Like, if you heard Henry Ruggs talk about it last year, he said you actually got to train to learn how to properly run a 40 at the combine. It's not just go. You know what I mean? They sit down on their markers like pro runners do, etc. You got to work on your takeoff. It's not just, okay, put your head down and run. So, and I do agree with Tyler. I think Smith's time is going to be faster. Now, I could see Smith being in the 4.45 range. I don't know if I buy Chase. So, and Shorty, what up? All right, like, in terms of Chase right here. Like, the guy's going to be 5'11". You want a 5'11" contested ball guy? That's why I don't even want to hear the DVP. I get what people are saying in terms of the style they play. You're right. But are we actually going to sit here and, DVP is a big boy. Pause. You know what I mean? Like, JaMarr Chase, sure, you're rocked up, but we've all seen when you're short and rocked up, what good does it do? Ask Jakeem Grant. I'm just saying, the visual evidence is right there. Literally right there. Yeah, Manuel, it's funny. Smith looks as big as Justin Jefferson. Smith looks as big as Justin Jefferson, and everyone's worried about Justin Jefferson's size. Devontae Smith's size when Justin Jefferson just had the season he had. You know what I'm saying? Someone asked, when was this pick? This pick is recent, like they're training together right now. This pick is recent. So, I'm just sitting here saying, JaMarr Chase, 5'11", you're a contested ball guy. You're not a good separator. You're not a burner. Like, sorry, bro. I ain't investing a top 10 pick in you. Not happening. Not happening. The hype on this kid is ridiculous. It took a historic season from Joe Burrow. It took Joe Brady coming over and installing an NFL system that stresses manufacturing space for receivers. But yeah, let's give a number 3 pick to this guy. Are you crazy? Jesus. All right, so let's keep it rolling here. A couple things because I didn't really get to go into it heavy yesterday. Tyler Lockett, guys. Word came out that Tyler Lockett could be a trade candidate this offseason to help with the cap. And then you hear this morning the Russell Wilson stuff obviously intensifies. Gotta wonder, is there truth to this because of that? So, I've been saying for a while, obviously in the free agent class, I want Samuel, but I'll take Lockett over everyone in the class. He's 28 right now. He's going to need to be re-upped after this year, but I'd rather pay him than some of these other guys, to be honest with you. And I'd only give him, 2 or 3 years. So, yeah, I'm just saying, to me, that's a much, 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 much smarter move than signing a Juju or a Godwin or spending all this money. So we'll see how that one plays out, especially with Russell going on. And just to confirm for everyone who didn't see yesterday, my number 1 target on my free agent board, guys, if you remember my top 10 targets, Corey Linsley is not expected to return to the Packers. And, PFF ranked him as their number 1 center. Good for them. But that is huge. And I also read a report today that the Chargers will be in hot pursuit. So screw you, Los Angeles. This boy is coming to Miami. Make it happen. All right. make this move happen. This is a must add, in my opinion. I'm going to drop the link for you guys if you guys want to start coming backstage and talking about this stuff. There you go. Link is dropped. And I got one other thing I want to talk about before I open it up, but guys can start piling out. But yeah, Corey Linsley, guys, it's official. Doesn't look like he's returning. So keep an eye on that situation because that is a need. And that, we were willing to spend heavy in the offseason. We overpaid Eric Flowers. So there's no reason why they might not want to pay a guy like Corey Linsley this offseason. That's a very, very, very realistic possibility, man. All right. And then the next one, and we're going back to Barry Jackson land here. So Barry Jackson, according to Barry Jackson, the Miami Herald, and this is on his article, but you have to pay to get behind the wall unless you're on your phone. According to Barry Jackson, the Miami Herald, when Jones hits the market, the Miami Dolphins will be one of the teams pursuing him. The report also says the interest with Jones with the Dolphins among teams he'd considered signing with this offseason is mutual. So, you look at Aaron Jones, shout out to the homie Jeremy Klump. He had a really good article just out on Aaron Jones, and then he dropped an article on Fin Fanatic today about Linsley, and he actually shouted your boy out and used one of my tweets in it. But the kid is only 26 years old. He doesn't have a lot of wear and tear on the tires. So, I know people say they don't like paying running backs, but I do think this is a little bit of a different situation. Usually when they're 26 in this special, they don't hit free agency, let alone when they don't have that much tread and wear and tear on them. So, this is a real possible, if we start restructuring guys like Van Noy, they need to restructure Eric Flowers, and a couple other, and Byron. And then we cut some contracts like Keem, they move off Albert, et cetera, and they create, between 50 to 55 million in space. We could be looking at, they go after Linsley and Aaron Jones. And Aaron Jones and Corey Linsley, in the RPO and the screen sets that were called for the offense this past season in Green Bay, they absolutely killed it. And we all know screens and RPOs are going to be heavy involved this year from what we're understanding. So you talk about scheme fits that me and EM always talk about. These guys are perfect, these two. So, I would love those two. And oh my God, if we could get a Samuel as well. Oh my God, don't tease me. But that would be perfect, man. The center, the communicator, the identifier, the smartest guy on your offensive line, the anchor. And then you go find that stud running back who not only can run the football if you need him to 25, 30 times, but if you need 8 to 12 catches, Aaron Jones can give you that if he's called upon. So, yeah, I'm just personally a huge fan of adding a guy like Aaron Jones, man. So, all right, we got a couple guys already backstage. I will drop the link once more for you guys if you want to pile in here. Let me know. Join. So we got Z-Man, and we also got Esteban here. What are you guys saying today? What's on your mind, guys?
This I don't know if you be on Bleacher Report, but the Dolphins things, wow, that is crazy. They trying to compare Matt Jones to Tua now, and people really arguing me who's the better quarterback prospect coming out of Alabama.
Yeah, anyone who's going to sit there, because even Sims today, Chris Sims and Florio today, they tried to sell the narrative that Mac Jones is a better prospect. Like, this is absolutely getting ridiculous right now. Like, we're getting to levels of idiocy and misinformation, and these guys aren't doing their job well enough.
If Matt Jones was so good, he would be a top 10 pick, undoubtedly.
Top 5,
undoubtedly. But where is he, in the second round somewhere? maybe. End of the first.
Yeah. Well, there is chatter of him going in the top 15, which I think is ridiculous. But
I saw the earliest was what 8 to the Panthers, maybe.
man, if someone takes this guy over Trey Lance, people need to be fired.
You know what is crazy though, Reason? I did say the Patriots might take Matt Jones.
Yeah, I could see that because he just do anything else, right?
Mm-hmm. It's easier to fit him into a system, and he can just go out there and compete with Jarrett Stidham, and the winner takes it.
Yeah, which isn't much, right?
Yeah. Good old Bill Belichick.
Yeah, really. Eh?
What's going on, fellas?
What's going on? How you doing, Tyler? What are your thoughts on all of this, Esteban?
Well, two of the things you talked about that I heard, I didn't hear everything, but Chris Sims and Wilson, Russell Wilson, just real quick. He's 30. I think he's 32. I don't want him. He's too old. I'd rather stick with Tua. And if you've seen the photo with him and Tua side by side, Tua's actually taller than him. So I think he'll close the gap on talent to where you won't think about Russell Wilson at the end of the year. I think Tua will. So I'm good, man. I'd rather just stick with Tua. Kind of made up my mind on all that. And then the whole Chris Sims thing, bro. When he was in college, when he was playing quarterback at Texas, you know, we had a lot of Dolphin fans, and you know, I guess there was that rumor that Tua was given the position. If there's anybody in history that was given a position when in their time playing this game, it was Chris Sims. Because when he was in college, I hated that guy. I did. Like, before he was even an analyst and he started giving his takes on Tua, I never liked Chris Sims. I never liked him as a player, not even when he was here, because he didn't deserve the position. Applewhite was ahead of him at the time, and everybody hated it because we wanted to compete with Oklahoma, and we knew we couldn't do that with him at quarterback. And to be honest with you, I don't know how he got drafted. I don't know how he even made it in the NFL. And you're 100% accurate. I've always felt that way, that he lived off his dad's name. Because when they made him quarterback, I would tell one of my best friends, we were like diehard UT fans, that this guy got the position because of his dad when he was in college. So, yeah, I take what he says with a grain of salt, and I really don't listen to him, and I really despise the guy, to be honest. That's my take on all that.
Tyler, what's your take on this whole thing? And you're a Bama fan. You know, give us your take on the whole narrative of Mac Jones being better than Tua Tagovailoa.
Here's my thing. I never bashed Jalen Hurts when it was a whole Tua versus Jalen thing. Even in the pros when they was trying to do the Tua versus Jalen thing.
Yeah.
I never bashed Mac Jones. Because I even told people before the college offseason, I said, don't sleep on Mac Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Proving that he proved me right. Now, with this whole Tua versus Mac Jones thing, first of all, I didn't take what Smith said as seriously as everybody else because, one, when they tried to do it before the NFL offseason started, he always said both were good. He has no reason to lie. He played with both of them. The only difference is Tua is someone who knows how to spread the ball around. Now, in my opinion, Devontae Smith was the best receiver last year when Judy and them were there.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, you know, with Waddle going down, Smitty was probably the only person that knew how to get open. Now, Mitchie could get open too, but he was just a sophomore.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, ain't nothing wrong with him trying to boost up Mac Jones' draft stock because people still believe, yeah, he had a good year, but he's not better than the quarterbacks in this year's draft, which I get. Now, Chris Sims said Mac Jones is a better prospect because he's not a natural thrower of the football. So to tell me Tua, who broke all types of accuracy records in college football isn't a natural thrower of the football, really. And then you're trying to tell me too, Mac Jones is better when Mac Jones has been Tua's backup to his entire college football career. And I mean, and not only that, Jalen was number 2 behind Tua when Tua took his job. So Mac Jones couldn't beat out Jalen for number 2. Like I don't get this. I don't pay attention to Chris Sams. Never have. I mean, he had Jarrett Stidham above Tua, and Jarrett Stidham couldn't even beat out Cam Newton, who has a washed up throwing arm.
Yep.
So I don't pay attention to Chris Sams. I'm just against, because it's like, okay, everybody on Twitter wants to play the role of a GM. To me, it's simple. You keep your quarterback that you just drafted on a rookie contract. What do I look like giving up on a quarterback who statistically had a better rookie year than some of the top QBs in the NFL? Only played 9 games. Be aggressive in the draft. Get the players that you want to build around him, and see what he does.
Yep. And that rookie contract means a lot more than people are giving it credit for. Because
it's like I'm not giving up. And here's the thing: if I'm the Texans, here's my view with Miami. If I'm the Texans, you hold me. Excuse my language. You hold me out of all my picks for Larry Thompson. So you want Desaun Watson? What makes you think I ain't gonna want all my picks back?
Yep.
Just for you to get my quarterback.
Yep.
I'm gonna make you give up everything and give me Tua.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do what you are letting the media try to make you do. Because I'm saying, like, people ain't understand. I'm like, you see all these media analysts making these decisions for the Dolphins. I have not seen Adam Schefter or Ian Rappaport come out and say the Dolphins are doing this. Dolphins haven't said anything.
What a great point.
The Dolphins haven't said anything since the offseason started. So it's like the media is trying to make these decisions. Omar Kelly and all these people trying to fit square into a circle about, well, if. It's like if you got to say if in all your articles, then you don't even believe half the shit you typing.
Yep. Thank you.
So it's like, just Tua will be fine. Give him an off season. When he came, I watched Tua for 3 years. He came in January. It was literally a debate all season, his freshman year, that he should be starting in front of Jalen, even though Jalen was winning us games. Because it was clear who the best quarterback was. Because he came in early to prepare. So imagine if Tua didn't have the hip problem and he didn't have to focus on that this offseason, he would have been fine. He would have had a very, very good rookie year. And I also believe this is Chan Gailey's fault. Like, every time I see all these takes, it just takes me back to Chan Gailey and the freaking favoritism he was playing with Fitzpatrick. Mm-hmm. And I feel like Flo should have gotten Chan Gailey's ass about it. Because if we could see it, he could see it too. And you said he wanted to be more up-tempo. So obviously it was frustrating. Mm-hmm. So it's just a lot of things that was up against Tua. Then when you look at the statistics and everything, I rather watch with my eyes more than statistics. But at the same time, it backs up what Tua has been doing. And it's enough to give Dolphin fans hope of a second-year leap up Tua. So I don't know why Dolphins fans are reacting to every little thing about the Dolphins and what they might do. The reason why the media is linking Dolphins to every trade or free agency is because they have the most assets in this draft.
Yep. and did I pose a fair question, Tyler? Statistically, he put up almost identical to Burrow. Heading into the Buffalo game, he had a better QBR, he had less interceptions, and he was the only starting quarterback in the NFL with 10 touchdowns and no interceptions from a clean pocket. Burrow wasn't in that, and Burrow just tore every alphabet letter in his knee. You saw him in LSU. He relies on that sneaky athleticism for his improvisational skills. There's word he might miss 2 seasons based off of the extent of this injury. Why aren't we hearing the Bengals being involved in looking at a quarterback? Because their guy might not ever be the same again.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think people are also looking in context. Tua had the responsibility of getting this team to the playoffs. Cincinnati and the Los Angeles Chargers did not. So all
And
they
the
could
Eagles.
and so all they could do was focus on developing as a quarterback.
Yep.
Tua didn't have a chance to do that. He had to come in and make sure he wasn't the reason they didn't make it to the freaking playoffs.
Yep.
He had that responsibility.
And Tyler, going off of Chan Gailey, this guy had to deal with Robbie Brown as his quarterback coach, who was there because of his tie to Fitzpatrick when he was with Gailey and Fitz with the Jets, while a guy like Justin Herbert gets Pep Hamilton, who worked with Luck at Stanford and Indianapolis and has a record of developing young quarterbacks and getting the best out of them right away.
And I look at I don't know if everybody saw the statistic that Smart Guy put up about what worked for Tua and what didn't work.
Yeah, I put it up on this channel. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it just pisses me off even more because it's like, if I'm a coach and I have the same access to these statistics, why was my OC that I picked out not doing what worked for my quarterback? And then you take him out in the fourth quarter when statistics shows he flourished in the fourth quarter. He showed that against Arizona. He showed that against Kansas City.
Yep.
And then it showed when you let him spread the ball around against Cincinnati. Like it's just a lot. It's just very, very frustrating. And we get pegged as Alabama fans get pegged as Tua stands, but it's like we show it. I'm telling you, I've been watching. I don't.
Other than people who do film breakdowns and scouting and film study, you guys know him the best.
Yeah, and I watch, and I'm not as my expertise is not in the film study like you reason. I wish, because then I'll be killing folks for real. But it's like I watch you for that. But it's like, if I can see it in statistics back up what I've been saying, but that makes me a Tua stand, so my opinions don't freaking matter.
It's a cop out, bro. It's a cop out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here's just to add the context of what Tyler was saying. You guys heard me all year. I was screaming, no huddle. The guy's almost at a 70% completion percentage. He was killing the blitz when it was coming.
Yeah, look at those no huddle numbers, 70%.
Look at that. And then more context of what what Tyler was just talking about with the quarter by quarter breakdown. I mean, if you go by quarter, she's right. Why are you taking him out in the first year? Because he was throwing at almost a 77% completion clip in the fourth quarter.
Like, he was marching down the field against the Denver Broncos before they took him out. They were only down by 10. Las Vegas Raider game, he was 17 of 22, only down by 3 points. And you mean to tell me you couldn't keep him in just to see what he would do? All Chan Gailey had to do that game was open it up like he did for Fitz when he bought him in the Las Vegas Raiders game.
Yeah, and look at what Chan Gailey decided to do in that Raiders game. All of a sudden, we only saw it once through 3 quarters, but we started seeing a plethora of it in the fourth quarter of them matching up Gesicki with Raekwon McMillan and exposing the mismatch, but they waited for Fitz to come in.
And here's the thing, now that I think about it, Mike Gesicki was Tua's best weapon. Even though I hate his route running, it needs to be better. He was Tua's best weapon. I feel like Tua trusted Mike Gesicki the most, obviously, or he wouldn't have thrown to him in triple coverage. So, and the whole JaMarr Chase thing, look, I told you this before a reason in our private conversations. I value route runners over jump ball receivers.
Agreed.
I just do. So I feel like people are trying to sleep on Smitty because of his size. And I probably would have gave JaMarr Chase the benefit of the doubt if he came back during COVID years so I could see what he did when he didn't have Joe Brady and
Burrow.
Joe Burrow.
Yeah,
All
I
these
agree.
wide receivers Alabama came back to for Mac Jones just to prove themselves and win a national championship. But if JaMarr Chase did that and had the same production, you would get no argument out of me.
And you know what's crazy though, a little bit, Tyler and Damian, Todd, Justin. I'll get you in a sec because I appreciate you guys for joining. You know what's crazy, and you're a Bama fan, so you can speak on this. If Tua would have went back 1 year, if he would have came back, he would have won the Heisman. He would have won a second national championship. His worst finish ever in his collegiate career would have been losing in a national championship as a starter. And I think he would have been drafted higher than Trevor Lawrence because the Heisman and the 2 national championships. And let's be honest, Lawrence every year, in terms of finish, it's gotten worse for him.
Yeah, well, when with Tua, every year he improves statistically better every year with 3 different offensive coordinators.
Yep.
So people want to sit up here and tell me, oh, he can't read defenses. Chris Sims talking about he won't get better with a better supporting cast. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You mean to tell me if he had the same set of weapons that he had at Alabama, you mean to tell me you want to see that kind of player Tua was at Alabama? Please.
Yeah.
Please.
I agree. Todd, Damian, let's hear your thoughts on the situation.
Hey, first off, reason I want to say great show last night.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I know some JaMarr Chase fans are probably in their feelings, but it's all good.
Oh, hell no. I hope not. I'm sorry. I don't want to jump all receiver that's short.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, no.
but you know, when it comes to Mac Jones,
mm-hmm.
he better go to a team with an all-time great defense and run game because he reminds me of Trent Dilfer.
Oh, wow.
Not a strong arm.
Yeah, he's got not a lot
of
juice.
Not that accurate.
Yeah.
He does not remind me of anything special.
Yeah, he had like a 76 completion percentage, but if you actually break it down, a lot of that percentage came on throws at 10 yards and in front of it. So short, not even at the intermediate level, right?
And Smith is my receiver number 2. Waddle's definitely my receiver number 1.
Yeah, and I don't think they're that far off. I just put the 4.27 speed, and that's really the only difference. But they're both very, very good route runners. They're both super dynamic with the ball in their hands.
Yeah, Waddle's just faster.
Yeah.
Is that speed because we need someone to take the top off.
Yeah. And, and let's be honest, Waddle is clearly, him or Rondell Moore are the most dangerous wide receivers in this draft. And Waddle, the things he could probably do on kick return and punt return for us as well.
Yeah.
I think he would be invaluable. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't be sad with Devontae Smith. I love it. Yeah, exactly.
Who on kick and punt return?
No, as much as I love Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle too, I am not taking either one at 3.
I don't think an ankle injury for Jalen Waddle is going to keep him out of the top. I see as a possibility, especially if he shows out his pro day.
He might be the number 1 first guy off the board, I think.
That's what I'm saying. When people was talking about him sliding because of his ankle injury, I was like, an ankle injury ain't gonna stop Waddle from getting picked in the top 10, 12 at least, especially if he show out in his pro day. It's not gonna get him out of it.
And I'm sorry on this debate.
The what debate?
I don't want a 30-year-old quarterback.
Yeah, 32. Yeah, that's getting all that money.
I don't.
And the guy's already crying about what's going on in Seattle when his contract's the main reason why they're in the position they're in.
And he's a 32-year-old quarterback that's been sacked the most.
Well, and here's the thing. I talked with EM privately. I hate to project because this is purely a projection. Tua comes off to me like he's the type that won't break the bank on us when he's got to be paid.
I agree.
I just said
and,
that.
And that
right now,
that means a ton, man.
Because it shows it worked. Tom Brady has done it multiple times with the Patriots. He showed.
I agree 100%. And he's in his.
Yeah, you obviously Tom Brady cares more about rings, right? So he's gonna do whatever necessary to stay successful, and that's you using the money that he won't take to build around him. What did hell? He even got Mike Evans doing it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
reason about what Tyler said earlier about we haven't heard the Dolphins say anything. I've heard them say a lot. Tua, I can't wait to work with Tua over the next couple years. And actions speak louder than words. Look who they brought in for Tua.
Oh yeah, I meant
That's
that.
the thing.
I'm talking about-
We built our offensive coaching staff around Tua Tagovailoa.
Exactly.
I'm talking about as far as the media trying to
Yeah, yeah.
make decisions for them. I know what they are saying
Yeah.
with their actions. I'm talking about them trying to fit a freaking square into a peg hole like our Kelly doing all these trade scenarios.
I agree, but I've heard Flores say, I'm looking forward to working with this kid for the next couple years.
Yeah, because if you could, come on now. Like, you got almost every NFL player. If you watch their interviews, hell, even Cam Newton said he wasn't able to prepare because of COVID. All these players
Can I chime in real quick?
as an excuse.
On the contract you guys were talking about, because I was thinking about that yesterday, or it was the other day. I ran into a Texans fan, and what I ran into was somebody. This is just somebody that I ran into that's a fan. So take it with a grain of salt. They told me that they were at the Galleria in Houston and ran into Reed, took a picture, and he signed an autograph. They asked him right there in the mall. But he was with Desaun Watson, and I was telling me what she liked about the Texans, because I'm just curious. They're kind of like a newer franchise, and I was telling her I've always thought their logo looked like a power drink or something. I never liked it. But she was telling me her favorite player was J.J. Watt. She's gonna go wherever he goes, and she was telling me that Desaun Watson was cocky, and I was asking her why, and she said, "Well, I met him, and he's an ass." And she started telling me about the situation that happened. She just asked him for a picture, and he said, "You got to give me $100 for that. I don't do anything for free." That's just what a person told me. I'm just saying, if that's an indicator of what kind of person he is, and it's all about money, and he is throwing a tantrum to get out of Houston, if that is what he is, I don't want him. And the other thing I was going to add to that real quick is, and I've even mentioned this to Larry before, and me and Larry disagree on a lot of stuff, man. He did kind of skip past it, but when you go by the character of Tua and the kind of person he is and the charisma that the dude had coming into the league, he's going to get sponsorships, and he's going to hold them. He's going to hold them because he just seems like that kind of player that can conduct himself off the field. He's not going to shoot himself in the foot. So why not take a lesser contract to help the team overall? That's my take.
And guys, Adam Schefter just reported Russell Wilson has a no trade clause in his contract, so in the end, Russell Wilson holds the cards. But Seattle Seahawks, Russell Wilson has not demanded a trade. His agent, Mark Rogers, told ESPN, check this one out. Wilson has told the Seahawks he wants to play in Seattle, but if a trade were considered, the only teams he would go to are the Cowboys, Saints, Raiders, or Bears.
See, he ain't gonna do that.
We're not even on the list.
He ain't gonna do that to Tua. He ain't gonna do that to him.
Oh my God!
And what you said about DeShaun is very interesting, because I told people this is just me joking. Okay, y'all saw that Patrick Mahomes video where he was, kind of throwing his teammates under the bus a little bit about what happened at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
In his press conference. I said, we naming all this stuff like contextually about what Tua went through. I was like, Tua could have easily done that. Easily. I said, but he's somebody who gonna take the blame on himself. He ain't gonna place the blame on others.
Mm-hmm.
I said, so, that's just how he is. I felt like he harshly criticized himself in these interviews. I said, because statistically, his numbers are solid. But, I'm going to compare it to, I had 4 ACL injuries, so 2 on each leg. So I understand what some of these athletes are going through as far as injuries, and you still expect to come back and ball out like you were before the injuries, but that's just not realistic. So it's like, I get it. But DeShaun is like I said before DeShaun signed that contract. I said, all that money ain't worth you running your life getting busted upside the head every play with no help. It's not worth it. But he signed it anyway, so now he crying, talking about he want out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Esteban, your story there gave me flashbacks of. Do you remember when Brady Quinn was drafted and he went to Cleveland and the fans showed up at the airport and he was charging $100 to sign their footballs? And it was like, man, you haven't even played a down of football and you're being this arrogant already.
I've had an experience like that with one of our. Who it was, bro? You know what I mean? It was during the Ricky Williams days, man. It was Chris Chambers, bro. It was Chris Chambers at the Thanksgiving game. I met them when they were coming out after the autograph, bro, and he did it, but man, bro, he did it grudgingly, just to be honest with you, bro. But I mean, he's a great player, and I don't like. But nobody has to believe me. I really don't know what he does believe me. Why would you believe me?
And why would you make up a random story?
So
like
the whole thing was explained to me.
You're breaking up, Esteban.
This was this year. She said Reed pulled his mask down so they could see that it was him because they recognized him before they even recognized DeShaun. She was saying that DeShaun was actually a few stores down and he pointed him out when DeShaun walked out of the store. But when they first approached them, they only approached Reed, and she said when they went up to him and asked him, they recognized him just in his outfit. She said, "Are you Reed?" And she said he pulled his mask down so they could see it was him, and he smiled, took a picture, did his thing. And he said that when she was telling me that when DeShaun gave that response about paying for the picture, she said that Reed just looked at DeShaun like, are you serious, bro? Like, like you're gonna act like, just rude, So that's just a person, bro. So,
Damian, let's hear your thoughts on everything, bro.
Yo, fins up, y'all.
Fins up, brother.
What's up, Damian?
What's up, y'all? What's up, Esther? What's up, guys?
Damian?
What's going on, guys? What's up, y'all?
Good morning.
By the way, I just want to say first, Tyler Rome Gray thinks you're balling out of control because you got a room with like 8 houses. You got a house with like 8 rooms in it. So I just want you to know.
Beautiful.
No, actually, one room is my closet.
Now she's went from balling to stunting on y'all.
Yeah, she's stunting.
Thank you for noticing. I get.
All right, Damian, let's hear your thoughts on this whole situation, brother.
Gotcha. I got a couple of quick things to say about this whole scenario.
Yeah,
First, to get the quick Chris Sims. And Esther should know this being a UT fan. Chris Sims, this was in the BCS era. You never made it to a BCS bowl game. You had all this talent around you. Roy Williams, Cedric Benson, a top 25 defense, all that talent on that team. You never could succeed. You're a bum in the NFL. You never made it in Tampa. Brad Johnson, a career journeyman, took your job. So I don't want to hear nothing about Chris Sims. You some trash. To get to the comparison with the 3 quarterbacks that came out last year, Tua, Burrow, and Herbert. All 3 are ultra talented. We knew Herbert 2 years ago could have came out a year early. It could have been looked at as the number 1 pick. He chose to stay. This is my thing with this. Out of all 3 quarterbacks, Tua's in the best organization. You can even look at historically. The San Diego Chargers, when they were San Diego, they at a point had a top 5 defense when Sean Merriman was leading that defense. Arguably, because he won the MVP, the best player in the league, like Damian Thomason, and a top 10 borderline pushing top 5 quarterback in a young Phillip Rivers. They made an AFC title game and still couldn't get it done. And it's always been the stigma of a bad organization. Ex-players have said bad organization. That's why they moved out of San Diego, and the city of San Diego hates the Spanos family. The Cincinnati Bengals, the only team without a practice facility. It just so happens they lucked up in the draft from getting the best tackle ever. A strong running games with Ickey Woods, a good wide receiving core. With Chris Collison and the guys, and a solid quarterback in Boomer Esiason and University of Maryland. Guys, shout out to DMV. They had good weapons. It's still known as a horrible organization. The way they treat their players, being cheap, Paul Brown being a horrible owner, all these things. But the Miami Dolphins got this young kid. We're doing it right. We've gotten rid of the stigma of being a toxic organization. We're hiring minorities. We're giving minorities a chance. We're player friendly. All these things, and we have this young quarterback who we're grooming. And I will say this about Chan Gailey. Tua's going to prove Chan Gailey wrong. The same way Troy Aikman proved I was wrong, and Jimmy Johnson when he drafted Steve Walsh the year after. Tua's going to prove people wrong. Give this kid some time. He's about to be in football shape. He's getting acclimated back to training for football. You're going to see a different quarterback. And I will say this with the JaMarr Chase and Smitty thing. Reason know how much what I feel about Smitty. And I will say this about the knocker, what people say about him not getting separation. Number one, in the NFL now, the way offenses are evolving, is the movement during the snap. He's going to be moved around so much. That's not going to be an issue. And plus, his superior route running. His superior route running is what gets you open. He has traits when it comes to route running of Jerry Rice, Marvin Harrison, superior route running. And I agree with the brother last night you had on the show, Reason, about Chase in the NFL. That doesn't work. That you can't just bank your craft on it. It just doesn't work. I get tired of the negative stigma that's being put on Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins organization as a whole, and all these haters coming out putting these poisonous things out.
I mean, you have Floridian journalists getting mad at Miami Dolphins fans for being happy that Tua finally gets an off season to train on his craft. That's where we're at with it.
It's right. Because we're an impatient fan base, and you'll learn that if you listen to enough people. They just want the quick, easy road. You know what I mean? So that's just my.
I agree with you. It's just the point of we want a winner. It's been like, I mean, all of us that wasn't born in '73. You know, that was the last time we won a Super Bowl, or even born, or even was like able to comprehend things in '84. We don't know about a Super Bowl. We don't have a clue. Like, I remember in 92 when we went to the AFC title game. But besides that, it's foreign to us. So, of course, we want a winner. Miami has a big fan base nationwide. You know, before the last 2 years, we're always on primetime games. So we want this. We're hungry and craving for this. And we feel like we're finally getting closer. We have a coaching staff we're confident in. Stephen Ross is doing the right thing of being an owner. We remember through the high Zinga thing of going through the owner, always fumbling situations. So, like, now we feel it. We're right on the cusp of it, and we don't know how to handle it. But, like, we just have to be patient. I know patience is tough, but we're on the cusp of those things. This draft is going to really seal it, and free agency is going to really seal it. You know, God knows, I hope we get Penei Sewell and what Reason's been preaching, move back up and get that receiver. Waddle's super dynamic, but I won't be mad with Smitty. I would love a Rondale Moore later on in the second round, or even if we just get Penei and don't move up, I wouldn't mind a Rashad Bateman.
Yeah,
and
my boy.
Hopefully we can nail Aaron Jones and maybe another pass rusher, or don't want to spend for Levante David. I'm a Nebraska fan, but a Perman wouldn't be bad. You know, cover those things and cover the nose in the draft. We're there, guys. We have we're in a position where we can move all in now. Let's just be patient and just stand firm and listen to the education, Reason, ball game, PMs, and everybody's bringing.
Half our beat writers need their press pass pulled.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing of being a beat writer. They have to sell subscriptions to their paper. They have to. I mean, that's their job to be toxic. It's on us as Dolphins fans to take advantage of the assets we have with a Reason, with a ball game, with the EM and all the other Dolphin YouTube sites and news sites out there where we can get that education, so we can be able to decipher the two. That's in everything. You're gonna have your fake shock jocks. You're gonna have all those things to get clicks and get subscriptions. It's on you to decipher it too. You know, everybody can claim they have opinion, but this is like what I said about Pete. When your opinion is straight falsehood, it's not opinion no more. It's BS. Don't try to use the opinion label. So we just gotta be able to decipher the two and be educated by, you know, good Dolphin journalism, as we are on the show that we're on now.
Hey, Reason, when you was talking about people trading like away Xavier Howard or trading for DeShaun, and people saying you could still build from the second and third, fourth rounds around a Desaun Watson, but it's like, if you decide to do that, don't you gotta hope you at least hit on every pick you made in the second, third, fourth round?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, why would you want that? Why would you want more pressure on yourself when you could just stay pat and build around your rookie quarterback?
And then they want to give up all these other picks that can continue to help improve your team next year. So
Yeah.
what, we just gonna continue having holes? And that's
I mean, it's
what
just
Yeah.
microwave
that's the same thing with
mentality.
the Dan Marino thing. They want
Yeah.
Dan Marino all over again.
It's just a microwave mentality because it's like, yeah, you have some instances where going for big shot names work for some teams, but the majority of teams have shown that if you stick with a plan that's clearly working, like the Miami Dolphins have, you're this close. You were 10-6. So if you
Wow.
just keep Tua and build around him while also adding depth through the draft to build up your team, you'll be where the Buffalo Bills were.
You know what?
Hey, Reason, I
Z
gotta
man,
get
you
out of
just
here.
made
I
a
gotta
great
drive
point.
somewhere.
All right, Todd.
Hey, great show. Talk to you later.
Yo, I
man.
gotta, Joe B, buddy, I don't know what's come up your ass in the last 2 months, but ever since you came on here and I gave you the work over to Desaun Watson, first of all, I block people like you on Twitter because right now you're in my comments and you're acting like a fucking casual, all right? If you got to use other people's scouting reports and other people's work to formulate your own opinion, that tells me 2 things. One, you can't do it yourself, or B, you just don't have the aptitude to formulate your own opinions because you can't do the work. That's a casual football fan take. Now, let's go even further here. You want to sit here and use Bucky Brooks? Let me ask you this. Has Bucky Brooks been right 100% of the time with his evaluations? Let's go even further. People like to use Daniel Jeremiah. Daniel Jeremiah was the one saying Drew Lock is the next Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? We're sitting here and we're acting like these guys. And here's a better question. And this is a real question for everyone up here. Do you think Bucky Brooks has the time on his hands like me, Dante Collinelli, Matt Valdivinos to sit down and watch every single snap of JaMarr Chase's career, freshman and sophomore?
Nope.
No, those guys watch 3 or 4 games, make their evaluation, and pump it out.
Mm-hmm.
So, Joe B, as far as I'm concerned, bro, you can take back your Patreon. You can do whatever you want. You can hit the dislike. Bro, football experts, bro. I mean, what do you want? Bro, I was better than experts with our draft class last year. You really want to go down this route? The only one they could nail was Tua. I called Jackson at 18, Noah at 30, Raekwon at 56. I prepped all of you for Hunton Kinley and Benito Jones and Curtis Weaver. Buddy, last I checked, that's 8 players out of how many draft picks did we have last year? I didn't call what? Blake Ferguson? And I didn't call who? Malcolm Perry? That's it? Buddy, I have a better track record with the Miami Dolphins than these guys do. And what's crazy to me is, I don't care where you work. Brother, I take care of 2 kids for 12, 13 hours of my day.
That's a job. Trust me, I'm learning that right now.
So I don't want to hear this, bro.
God knows that's
like, this is just so lazy, bro. That's a casual outlook, man. Lazy, because you either A, don't know how to do the film work yourself, B, can't find the all-22 to do the film work. And when you got to lean on other people's mocks, simulators, and other people's work, how are you using other people's opinions to formulate your own?
Mm-hmm.
And I depend on is the eye test for me by watching games.
Bro, like, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Hey, Reed.
Hey, y'all,
Joe B, you know what, bro?
I'm out.
I appreciate you, Tyler.
Joe
Joe B, you want to be condescending, bro? Get the fuck out of my chat and get the fuck off my channel. I got no use for you, bro. I think you're actually a clown. The only reason I ever put up with you was because of EM. And I've told EM privately, I think you've turned into a clown. And it's ever since you got a hard on for me because I dragged you over your idiotic Watson take. And I'll keep doing it every time you want to work with me, bro. And here's the thing. You want to sit here and be condescending about what I know? You want to be... Buddy, I know more. My dick knows more about football than you, bro. All right? You really want to go there? Let's go even further. My dick's forgot more about football than you know. If you really want to go there. And guess what, brother? Enjoy the block and the non-existence on Finside the NFL, because as far as I'm concerned, you're a fucking tool. Goodbye. I got no use.
Can
I
I
got
say
no
something?
use for that guy whatsoever, man. That guy's a fucking clown, bro.
Can I
And the
say-
only reason I put up with you was because of EM. And over the last 2 months, you've had something up your ass because I gave you the work over Watson. Now you want to be you're on my channel. You used to praise me for what I know and what EM knows. All right. And now all of a sudden it turns because Bucky Brooks. Let me know when Bucky Brooks is 100% right about every prospect he's evaluated. And the fact that I showed you visual evidence that the guy's 5'11", buddy. And here's the thing. Oh, Chase can run routes because Bucky Brooks says so. What kind of argument is that? Like, literally, what kind of argument? That's the weakest argument, bro, in the world. That's a lazy argument. I don't like ignorance. I don't like bad takes. Take your $2 Patreon. I'll survive without it, bro. Trust me, okay? And you know what? Bucky gets paid for evaluations. Well, guess what, brother? Guess what? I've started making well over $1,000 a month off this channel, only 11 months in, not even a year yet. Okay, not including the Patreon, not including what I do with my podcast with Richmond Webb. I get paid to do this, all right?
Mhm.
And my whole following, buddy, a lot of it is because of my evaluations and how right I am. So, yeah, I get paid for my evaluations too, bro.
That's right.
So hit the fucking bricks, you fucking clown. And if I ever see you on Larry's channel, bro, you can try and be loud all you want, but I will drag you from one side of the Fins fan panel to the other, bro. I will mop YouTube and the floor with you, bro. Period.
Oh, man.
You're not on my level and you're out of your depth with a guy like me, bro. Go ahead, Damien.
I want to say this because
Fucking
of nature.
clowns.
That promo that Reese just dropped, it's a celebratory thing of Nature Boy Ric Flair's birthday today. So for that promo, I'm gonna give him a woo. Now, I want to
Buddy,
say,
I be styling and profiling on these motherfuckers and having a real problem holding this Dolphins gear down right now.
yo, oh God,
I was about to go to sleep.
Z-Man,
It's
Z-Man,
4 in the
you
morning in
made
South
a good-
Korea, but I'm awake. Sorry. Go ahead.
I know you're good, fam. I know you're good, fam. I know you're good,
Can I say
man.
something when you finish?
I wanted to piggyback. I believe Z-Man
You
said
ain't here
about.
to, you ain't here to participate. You're here to take over.
I believe
David didn't
Z-Man
want you to piggyback.
said this about us always never being patient with the draft and throwing money at free agents. We did that. He was talking about the Marino era. We did that in the Marino era, and it never paid off. We missed on draft picks trying to fill, and also the Jason Taylor, Zach Thomas era, where we missed on filling those holes in offense, mostly receiver, because that's where we blew most of our money at trying to land this receiver. It never worked. The only trading or free agency thing that really paid off and worked was Ricky Williams, and I would say because of leadership qualities, Chad Pennington. We have a position, we have an opportunity where we can get the cornerstone piece on the offensive line that will make everything work. I know it's a transition with being a rookie, but Tristan Wirfs showed that you give it a few games, that transition can pay off quickly. I believe Panay Sewell is a better prospect and a better player than Tristan Wirfs. Also,
Hold on a second. I just wanted to say, guys, the only reason I addressed that guy was he's a Patreon. He's a mod, not anymore. Okay. And that guy has been around since day one and I started, and he was jocking me and EM the whole time, but he got in his feelings when I gave him the work over the Watson stuff, when I started bringing the cap issue, and that guy's turned into a complete 180 and turned into a female towards me since that day. And you know what? I'm not putting up with it, man. And you're going to be in the comment section basically condescending towards me, and you're going to be making comments like that, and you're going to go off and use ignorant. Here's the thing. I got no problem with what you would call a casual fan if they're willing to listen, they're open, and we can have a civil debate, and their opinion is substantiated off stuff they've seen, not what other people say. Other than that, if you think you know football, you better know football if you're going to come at me with stupid shit. okay? Because I got no time for that, man. I got none whatsoever.
Can I jump off that reason?
Hold on, let Damien finish because I just interrupted him. Go ahead, Damien.
Oh, good, brother. I also want to say, because I can't type it in on the chat because I'm on my phone. I agree with you too, Marino. Go. Brent Grimes, and we also got it for cheap, so that was a good free agents acquisition also.
Yeah.
We have the opportunity with Penei Sewell, and we have the opportunity what Reason's been preaching about moving up and getting a wide receiver. Or I believe if we do let the draft fall to us at 18, Bateman's there. We take Bateman. That's a first talent. That's a first round talent. I think Bateman's special. I really do. Reason knows that. I think Bateman's special if we miss out on the two other receivers, Waddle and Smith. But we have the opportunity to nail these two positions on offense. And we have and from what media has been saying, for what Dolphins media have been saying, like Aaron Jones is also interested in us. So I mean, let's go. Let's do it. This is a young running. This is rare that you will have a young running back in the prime of his career who's considered a.
You cut out, Damien.
Can I go after Damien whenever you come back?
Hold on,
That's
Sharif wanted to go. He can go after him.
And
You gotta repeat a little bit of what you said, Damien. You cut out.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. That was my phone. I gotta get ready to go in a second. We're in a rare situation where we have a 26-year-old running back in the prime of his career, top 5 running back who can do multiple things, not just run between the tackles, not just take a 5-yard carry and take it for 80, but can also catch the ball at a superior rate out of the backfield. Like, you don't get those opportunities, and he's interested to come to us. You make the deal. We won't get that chance again. Usually teams sign those guys. They re-sign those guys back. And it's just because of the situation with the team, Green Bay not having an owner, not spending money in a small market, why they can't do that because of giving Aaron Rodgers the money.
Yeah.
So you have this rare opportunity. Those are the free agents you sign. And we address the wide receivers in the draft. It'll get a Curtis Samuel also that won't cost you that much. But you address this tackle and wide receiver in the draft, you go out and get Aaron Jones.
That's right.
All right, Sharif, go ahead, buddy.
Fins up, guys.
Fins up, man. I want to, as a fan, I'm just tell y'all personally what I learned. I didn't know what 11-man personnel was. I didn't know what the scheme fit was. I didn't know what A gap, C gap, B gap in terms of run stop, defense, or edge setting. What I'm trying to say here, guys, you could disagree all you want. You've learned more than 75% listening to EM, Reason, and Ball Game. The 25%, if you want to disagree and then be a girl and go in your feelings after that, fine. But we're just letting you know, the majority of the Dolphin fans here, we learning the game now. We're attached to the game more than ever now. So when we have after post-game Dolphins breakdown, we go to scheme fit loss, the reasons why. So we're not just dumbfounded to why we lose anymore when we can go this much in depth in pro football than we ever did before. That's why we come.
Bro, I got no problem people disagreeing with my takes. But when you start being condescending and attacking my ability as an evaluator, when, like I pointed out, when you talk about the draft last year for the Miami Dolphins, go whatever. What do you want to? Whatever professional or expert you want to talk about, I was righter than them. That's a fact, bro. Listen, when you if you got, let's say you got 10 picks.
You need to watch the draft.
If you got 10 picks in a draft and you hit 3 of those, that's considered a very high success rate. Buddy, we had like 11, what did we have? Like 10 picks?
It was 7 picks at least would you hit on. I was there.
Bro, like I hit 7 out of 10 or 7 out of 11. That's ridiculous, bro. Like, that's what I'm sitting here saying. So you're going to sit here and argue my evaluation skills when clearly I'm on to something? Like, yo, and when you're going to be condescending and a dick about it, yeah, I'm going to end you. Like, that's just it. I mean, I don't know what else to say. So shout out to Greg Arthur. He donates $10. He says, I love your show. 2 is going to shut everyone Sorry, Z-Man, you wanted to say something, bro. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say that's why this all season is like so important. As long as we dress some needs, right? Like we take care of what the center position, get a running back, like with the Aaron Jones thing, or even like going out there and trading for a right tackle or whatever. But we have to address something on that offensive line so we can, when it comes to the draft, we can really do whatever we want, and we can feel comfortable picking the players we want at what any position. So like say we get the right tackle or whatever, we can come out there and draft Jalen Waddle or Devontae Smith, whoever they want at 3, except Chase. And then come back and get a Zaven Collar. Like they can just like how you say you don't really like how it letting the board settle, but I feel like as long as they address their needs like first in free agency, I feel like they can let the board settle a little bit better, like how they want, and not really feel like they're reaching for anything. They can really just play the board, and go BPA mostly.
Rome Gray says, I agree with reason like 90% of the time, but when I disagree, there's an actual reason. Like I'll never nut swing on somebody else's opinion. Exactly. And Rome, I've seen you disagree with me, and you got valid points. And JD, I put your donation up on screen, bro. I was just in the middle of like a rant or whatever. So if you just post the comment of what your donation was, because I can't go up and find it anymore. If you just post what the comment was, don't donate, post the comment, I'll bring it up, but I did have it on screen. Yo, Justin, what's good, brother?
Hey, what's going on, you guys? Hey, excellent show as always, man.
Appreciate it.
I don't know if you guys have talked about it lately, but I'm sure you have. But I've seen the reports where they were showing Tua was looking a little bit more beefed up, a little bit more yoked up. When he came out, obviously he was a little bit skinny, but this will happen to any prospect that comes out. Once they get into the NFL training program, they eat a peanut butter sandwich and hit the weights, and next thing you know, they explode. So I'm expecting this dude to come out this next season and just go right to it. Balls to the wall, hit the studying real hard in the film room, and then come out there and he's going to light it up. I'm excited to see Tua come out this next season and see what he has. Other than that, the next thing we need to worry about as Dolphins fans is the next move we make is going to be the free agency is going to tell us a lot where we're going to go with the draft next. So say we go out there and grab like a Samuel and a Jones, then maybe we wait later in the draft to take for the board to fall to get some wide receivers and maybe a running back later in the draft. I just think there's so many wide receivers and running backs in this draft that really you just got to like pick your poison on where you want to go with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Can I say something to the free agency reason? Did you see that the Saints were 69 million over and some other teams were like 40 million over?
The Saints got it down like 27 million by restructuring what's his face's deal, Breeze's deal. I think they were like 62 million over the cap or whatever. They'll get it. They'll get it back down. I know a lot of people are trying to say Ramchuk. They're not going to trade Ramchuk. There's word that Breeze hasn't even retired yet officially, and some people don't know if he's going to come back or not.
I was looking at the center because they got our center who we wanted, Lucas, not Niang. They want the center we wanted in the first round. It's Lucas Niang. Yeah.
Yo, JD, post your comment that you said in the donation so I can post it up, bro. Just because I literally can't scroll up far enough to see it anymore. So I know I put it on the screen, but I was in the middle of my rant. So it's like, yo, look at it this way. Didn't I believe the Chiefs started off this season with like literally $247 in cap space. Like literally, you know what I mean? So, Omar Kelly says a lot of things, but one of the right things he says is, you can play with the cap, so it's only a number, really, right?
Right.
So,
you can front load and then clear up some cap room, give everything on the back end, Brady style,
and restructure, right? Just try and restructure a bunch of guys. Adam, what's good, bro?
What's up, guys?
What's on your mind, bro? I can't hear you, bro.
Yeah, I can't hear him.
I'm ready.
Yeah, still can't hear you, brother.
Maybe his hand is over the mic or finger.
Yeah, something. Can't hear you.
Yeah, man, it's Dolphins time.
No, Irving, I didn't get your super chat, bro. At least I don't think I did. So just post your comment and I'll put it up. I'm only gonna stick around for like another 15 minutes, guys. Then I gotta get out of here and go deal with my kid. What are you, like in terms of Justin? Like, I gotta ask you this, man. You know, Desaun Watson, even though we all don't really want it, is, you know, he's 26. Russell Wilson's 32. Is that even something you'd be entertaining? At his cost?
The Russell Wilson thing, I don't think you would entertain as much as you would the Watson thing. And that's no knock on Tua. You would just maybe see what their offer is or what our offer would be to them. But honestly, I'm all in on the Tua thing right now. I would build around Tua. We've already got everything constructed to build around Tua. So I think that's the route they're going to go. But I really think that whoever gets Watson is going to be in the position to where their pressure is going to be on them to win right then and there, and then the next season as well. I don't think it's worth us doing it. We'll have to give up way too much, and I think we should just stick to our guns and keep building the way we're building.
A lot of people think that he makes us an instant title contender, and I've kind of pushed back of, look what Tyler said earlier, all of a sudden you got to start hitting in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round, and you know, and if you have any 2nd round picks, because you know you're not going to have 1st round pick for at least the next 3 years. You know, we've got holes on the offensive line, in the receiving core, at running back. We need an alpha middle linebacker. We have no depth at safety. We have no depth on the edges. We don't have a 2-down run stuffing, gap filling, zero tech that can flank Raekwon outside as an interior end on running situations and then kick him in on the pass. So we've got holes, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, a lot of.
Do you believe the whole narrative that he makes this an instant? Because honestly, an instant title. Because where I sit with it, Justin, buddy, he makes us a 1st or 2nd round exit. And we're gonna be stuck there for how many years?
Yeah, I agree. I think maybe he would get you into the playoffs and maybe be a little bit short of where we really wanted to get, because we just have far too many holes right now to say that we're one player away from going to where we want to go.
Yeah.
I mean, we need a whole lot. Like you said, we need depth on the back end. We have no linebackers. We need a new nose tackle, a true run-stuffing nose tackle, someone who takes on 2 blocks every snap.
Yep.
Not only that, but a lot of people aren't talking about this depth at cornerback type thing, and I think we might be looking to snag another draft pick high cornerback as well. So it's just something to look forward to and to keep your eyes out for.
Have you watched anything on Farley, Horn, and Surtain yet?
Yeah, I've watched all of those guys.
Where do you rank the 3?
I would rank right now probably Farley would be ahead of Surtain, just barely. And then the other kid would come in, Horn would go right underneath him. But the kid that I'm really, 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 really like got my eye going right now, who I think could make a jump and be better than all of them in the pros, would be that Campbell, the Tyson Campbell kid from Georgia. I see something in that kid's game that I'm like, wow, he can do a lot of everything that this defense that we covet. Tackle, cover.
Yeah.
Got a lot of versatility.
And you might be onto something with the high investment of a draft pick, because I don't know if you saw. I don't know if you saw, because I know you've been taking a break from the idiots on Twitter, and I don't blame you. But did you see that we interviewed Asante Samuel Jr., and I don't see that guy getting out of the 2nd round.
I did see that, and I think that there is something to put to that. And I think maybe they're going to poke around in there to see, like, bottom of the 1st round, top of the 2nd, maybe some fillers out there. I think a Samuel would be a great fit here, honestly.
Yeah. And obviously Flo is familiar with his father a little bit too, right? So shout out to Irving Figueroa. He donated $2. He says, Tua episode 2, the Samoan sensation strikes back. I love that. The Star Wars play on year 2. I love that, Irving. That's classic. And JD, I know you had to go back to work, brother, but I know I had your donation up here. I appreciate you for donating, homie. And if you get time, put that your comment in and I'll post it. But I know you had to get back to work. And, see, and Samuel Rosa says that exactly reason. I see Watson thing would put us in the Marino era where have to spend big money on a big splash. And that's what happened in the Marino era, and it didn't work. I mean, I keep telling people, that people keep downplaying the 4 years and an option you have your quarterback on. I mean, let's put it here. Mahomes, all of his playoff success, 4-year and an option deal. Russell Wilson, 4-year and an option deal. The only one who was Ben Roethlisberger, rookie deal. The only guy, and obviously the guy who stopped a lot of people from winning on their second contract was Tom Brady. And why? The guy was taking less money because Giselle was sitting there making more than half the league put together.
What people don't understand is it's not really like the better quarterback. It's the better team win. It's a team sport.
Agreed.
That's how the Bucs. I knew the Bucs were gonna win from the beginning, because even last year with the 49ers, the 49ers were supposed to win the Super Bowl, but Jimmy G, that's what messed them up. But with the Bucs, they had an above average quarterback, because Tom Brady he just can elevate his play when needed. But he always been, pretty above average. He hasn't been amazing. Well, he's been amazing, but you know what I mean. But he always had the better team. And it doesn't matter if you have the better quarterback. If you can't, if they just going to, even if the top player comes down, they still have very manageable depth to still have elite play.
Yeah, I agree.
And
Sorty, bro.
Quarterback with it.
Yo.
What's going on, brother?
What's good?
Sorty, what's up, Sorty?
What is up, guys? Can I jump in?
Go ahead, bro. Floor is yours.
Okay. I'm thinking about I don't want to talk about Russell Wilson. I don't want to talk about Deshaun Watson. I'm so over this QB crap talk that's probably not going to happen. Especially today with Russell Wilson putting out a list of like 10 different teams from Jason Lockenfor, that bum. But I'm thinking about the draft, and I know me and you have been talking a lot about who we should take back and forth. You're obviously Team Sewell. I've been thinking about receivers at the top, but I gotta say, man, I think I'm Team Sewell now. I think I've been converted.
Why?
And I say that because I'm thinking. So first of all, I don't see us taking a wide receiver at 3. Just a regime. You got Flo and Greer at the top. I don't know if Chase or Smith are worth that high of a pick. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're probably realistically like somewhere from. And anywhere from 5 to 10, really. I think 3 is just extreme for a wide receiver.
Yeah.
But you look at our team as a whole, and I'm on board with Lindsey. Sign him for whatever he wants as center. He shores up the center position, right? And then I guess the rationale is we'll draft Sewell and kick him to right tackle, right? And you move Hunt inside. Is that kind of the consensus?
Yeah.
Okay. So what we do there is like we shore up center, right? We got Jackson left tackle. Hopefully he continues developing. He does his thing. Assuming we're keeping Flowers at left guard. Then obviously you got Sewell starting right tackle, right guard Hunt, right? And I think with that lineup, like, don't get me wrong, it's not the fact that I'm like thinking of excuses for Tua, but if you have that offensive line, Tua has every chance to excel and show what he's worth. And we'll make moves at receiver, right? Like, I think we'll sign a Samuel for a reasonable contract. Maybe we jump in. Maybe we move some picks around, jump up. Maybe we grab Waddle, dude, at like pick 11 or 12. Greer actually grows a set and like makes a move for one of those top dogs. If not, dude, Bateman at 18 looks pretty good. Even then, in the second round, you can mess around with like Amon Ra, maybe Tutu Atwell. I know his name's been kind of floated. But yeah, I've converted to the sense just build the line, beef it up, make it our strength, and just go from there. I'm curious, like, what you guys' thoughts?
I agree with you 110%, bro.
Yes, sir.
I'm all about the line of scrimmage.
Well, we can go to bed on that.
Yeah, I know. See, the thing is, what people fail to realize is now all of a sudden, if you built, first of all, the Raiders line, I think the average weight is 339 pounds. And personally, I would try to move Flowers' contract or restructure it so I can bench him and put Kinley in there. And then
Yes, sir.
my whole thing is, behind that offensive line that you just laid out, an 800-yard back can now flirt with 1,000 or 1,100 yards. All of a sudden we go from a quarterback who's what was it, like 2.52 average in terms of seconds he had in the pocket, time to throw.
5'8".
Yeah, so now that can jump to where Josh Allen was this year, like at 3.1 seconds. And, here's the thing. Can coverages hold up in terms of not allowing separation for 3 seconds? Probably not. That's asking a lot of secondaries in the NFL, right? Because not a lot of secondaries are built like ours is, right? So automatically, even bad separators are going to have a chance to separate. And and I go back to here. I just saw Alejandro posted a quote from Joe Burrow saying that Chase separates 5 yards per route. Man, I've literally shown footage. I've literally shown footage up here showing him having problems with press and not being able to separate. I don't know if you saw, Sorty. I had Matt Baldovino's on here yesterday. The man gets paid by Pro Football Network to do scouting. He also is one of the main guys in charge when everyone runs those simulators. Matt Baldovino's is one of the head guys who makes sure the rankings are where they're supposed to be. And he came out here and said, you got Preston and Devontae, who are two of the worst separators in the league right now, statistically now. And when you look at the top receivers, JaMarr Chase is the worst separator out of all of them. And then let's go even further, Sorty. I got to ask you, did you see the picture of Justin Jefferson, Devontae Smith, and JaMarr Chase?
I did. Yo, he doesn't look that tall.
6'1". No,
he's
bro.
Not. No, I'm going to be honest.
So let me ask you this. I got to ask you. If he measured, because I posted what Jim Nagy said. Okay, so LSU listed Justin Jefferson at 6'3". He came to the combine. They measured him. He was 6'1". If you go by the same, JaMarr Chase is listed at 6'1". He'll come out at 5'11". Then a couple hours later, that picture came out, all right? So my question to you is, his elite traits, because he has them, are at the catch point, all right? You're a contested ball guy who's 5'11", who has struggles against press. You want that in the top 10 at the next level?
Listen, man. I know he has his struggles with press, and I think I'm probably a little bit higher on him than you are.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of look at JaMarr Chase like he's kind of like a Debo, Samuel, Allen Robinson kind of like combination, in the sense that he'll jump up and snag that like high point ball. And then when he gets it, dude, he's like a tank. He's running through guys and he gets that yak. With that being said, I do understand that he's not the most elite separator. And like I saw the Alejandro tweet. I'm not buying like the 5-yard thing. I've seen the videos, dude. I've seen some of the tape that you have. I'm not seeing the separation in that regard. So yeah, like I do like Chase a little bit more than you, I think, but like I'm not super horny for him, dude. Any of those top 3 guys, I'm okay with in different. They all kind of do a different thing in their own way. But yeah, that's pretty much my thing. But I want to bring up the running back position, but we could talk to that in a bit if you guys want to keep chat on this.
Yeah, I think Justin wants to make a point, and then you can go into the running backs. Go ahead.
We want to see a guy that gets separation. You've mentioned him before. Reason is Clemson's Amari Rodgers.
Yeah, I know.
watched that dude in those one-on-ones just run people in circles. But you want to talk about catch point stuff and people who got strong hands? I'm telling you, man, that Austin Watkins out of UAB, that kid takes the top off the defense and has strong hands. So when he goes up and snags it, you're not out fighting him for the football. I think that Watkins kid is going to be the sleeper of the wide receiver draft class by far.
Good take. All right, let's hear your take on the running back room, Sorty.
Okay, so this is more of a question for you and the room as a whole, because obviously we don't know what's going to happen with free agency, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to assume just for now that we're not going to pay Aaron Jones. I think he might want too much money. I'm kind of going to go in with that mindset. So let's say we don't sign Aaron Jones, and now we're looking at the draft, right? Let's for all intents and purposes, Sewell's to pick a 3. Let's say 18, we actually double down on offense and are really building around Tua. And let's say it's Bateman, just hypothetical, right? Or even not. Let's say it's like Zavin Collins, for example.
Okay.
Now, the second round comes along. Can you see us actually going running back that high in the third? Like, let's say we both go offense, like Sewell, Bateman, right? Every time I run the mock drafts, man, I cannot picture us actually going running back with that third pick. I feel like Flo would want someone on a defense, like a difference maker there. So I guess my biggest question is, like, what do we do at running back if those are the first two picks or offense? Like, I just can't see us going 3 in a row. Maybe you guys think differently. I'm just curious on your take. Like, what happens if we go with defense in the second round?
Yeah, I agree with you, because if you look at last year, right, and I know you saw it too, the reports were out there that we were going to target J.K. Dobbins with that 56 pick before he got taken, and then we took Raekwon, right? And we just did 3 straight offensive picks in a row this draft. See, that's where I see them targeting a Gainwell or a Michael Carter with that 4th pick. You know what I mean? At 51 or whatever it is. The problem with me in this running back class is I think it's kind of top heavy in terms of like your alphas. Like, I like Jevon Hawkins, sorry, but like, you know, he's a day 3 guy, right? You know what I mean? Like, you know, like that's my issue. Like, can we all sit here and say we're comfortable with Michael Carter as the number 1 back?
Not really.
I don't know about that.
Sketched.
You know what I mean?
Javonte Williams.
Yeah, but I'm of the belief I don't think Javonte Williams gets into the second round.
Dude, he's gonna go high, man. Like, this is the thing. Dolphins Twitter thinks that we're the only ones who found his gem. I feel like he's a beast, bro. I think he's gonna go pretty high. There's talks that he might go before Najee, dude. Like, crazier things have happened, man. Honestly.
What do you got to say, Justin?
I feel like if we don't get a running back in free agency, we gotta get one in the draft. So I think 18 is for that running back, or unless they trade up from 36.
Before you go, Justin, I gotta address this because Duke West said we picked 2 offensive linemen last year. We need superstars. Look at so. Here's my thing: is anyone in our offensive line even in the same realm as a guy like Penei Sewell? No.
No shot.
And we only have 1 first round. We don't need every pick on that offensive line to be a first round. But at the end of the day, the only first rounder we got on there is Austin Jackson. And I'll say it again. I said it when we made the pick. We reached. It's a guy we reached on at 18 too.
And did you watch the Denver game? 20 hits on Tua until he was removed from the game. 20 hits on Tua.
1 game, dude. 20.
Come on, man. We need help.
Who's heard about that? I mean,
well, we had 187 pressures as total.
You were saying about the Michael Carter as your starting running back. Now, that just depends on who your starting offensive line is. I don't really care about the running back as much as I care about the O-line. Like, you come out there and put, like, Austin Jackson, Joe Thuney, Corey Linsley, and Robert Hunt, and address the right tackle situation. Hell, I'll go back there and run for 5 yards a carry.
Yeah, but my thing is, Justin, here's the thing. We draft a guy like Michael Carter. We have no power back. We have no short yardage guy in that whole back. I mean, Michael Carter just feels like a massive upgrade to what Salvin Ahmed and Michael Miles Gaskin offer you.
No,
and health is a factor with those guys.
Go ahead,
Justin.
Justin.
We'd have to find one on the free agent market if we didn't have no one to, a third down or a goal line back. But,
and let me ask y'all this, okay? Because I know a lot of us up here have watched Najee. Is Aaron Jones Najee's ceiling in the NFL?
No.
I've
seen Aaron Jones. No, sir.
I think Najee Harris is going to be the next Derrick Henry 2.0.
Yeah, maybe able to catch a little more.
He gets way better and run better routes.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Aaron Jones is a very good. Aaron Jones is a very good route runner.
Vision, outstanding vision.
Like, that's what I'm sitting here saying. If you look at their profiles and what they are as backs, they do a lot of the same things. Just saying.
but it takes Najee a long time to get where Aaron Jones is already at in terms of speed and quickness.
I just think Najee's going to be a better in terms of power. He'll offer you more.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
between the tackles, I think Najee Harris provides you a lot more than Aaron Jones is going to provide you between the tackles and breaking the tackles. But I think that Aaron Jones gives you a lot more explosive plays and a lot more change of direction and a lot more explosive ability. Yeah, a lot more big play ability than Najee Harris would.
And we're not knocking the running back Dolphin fans. Ahmed is health. Gaskins health. Who else do we have there? Washington, we got him off the scrappy. All right, we need someone there. We need that.
Sorty, I gotta ask you: would you be okay with taking a running back at 18?
I don't know, bro. It's really tough. I'm just like over the past couple of years, I've always been team wait for round 2, but I realized that, and I had this argument with it wasn't like a big argument, but the 3 yards per carry dudes were trying to tell me that Chris Grier is good at drafting running backs, and it's hard to refute that when you always draft running backs from rounds 4 to 7, right? Like, we're not making moves for any of these dudes in the second round. We let Dobbins kind of slip through our fingers. Like, we could have made a move for him, got a little bit of aggressive, and we didn't. So if Grier just wants to take his guy at 18 and Najee is like our bell cow for the next 4 years, I really can't judge that. I would prefer to wait till round 2 and pick 35 and maybe get Javonte, or if Najee falls, kind of go that route. I wouldn't be, so to answer your question, I would not be too pissed, but 18's pretty high, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
There's just so much elite talent. Like that's
Yeah.
why it's so tough. But that's why free agency is so important.
And may I ask,
They
Lodi,
gotta address some of the needs.
don't you see Nick Bolton? Like, you miss out on him as well. You need, because as much as we say this is I guess the offense full time for their draft, we can shore up with Nick Bolton. And I listened to the discussion when Reason had yesterday with the draft person on, I forgot his name, sorry, but does defensive tackle, nose tackle, zero tackle, does that really mean something? To me, it does.
Yeah, but you can wait on zero tech in the 3rd round, brother. And Nick Bolton isn't going in the top 20. Like, and if they're going to take a linebacker in the 1st round, it's going to be Zavin Collins because he's the ideal scheme fit. He's literally the prototype for the 3-4 defense in the middle.
Yeah,
Raekwon
He's gonna be rubbing his hands with that boy.
kind of a Raekwon McMillan body type, right? Long arms.
Imagine what Brian Flores could do with Zavin Collins in this defense.
It'd be disgusting.
It
It'd
would
be
be
Dante
amazing.
Hightower all over again, bro. All right, boys.
We have the #1 defense in the league.
I gotta
Number
get
one.
out. I gotta get out of here. I gotta go. My kid's waking up right now, so let's get some final thoughts. Sharif, let's start with you.
Yeah, man. I think we're going down the right pathway in terms of building. I think, like I said, it's gonna complete the trenches and start to finalize the defense, and then start to move into the getting the toys.
Yeah. Z-Man, let's get your final thoughts, buddy.
We should just keep building how we're building because it's proven that most of the time it works. So let's just build with Tua and all the talent.
Sorty, man, I'm sad you joined so late, bro. I'll be on tomorrow night, around like 8 o'clock. And I'll be having an open forum discussion if you're around. But let's get your final thoughts, brother. I'd love to having you on.
All right, dude. No, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for letting me jump on, and I'll try and make it tomorrow. I guess my final thoughts here, just free agencies around the corner, dude. Break the bank for Corey Lindsey. Shore up the middle of the offensive line. We'll go from there.
Yes, sir. And I gotta ask you this: do you believe in giving a more team-friendly contract? I mean, he's still going to be about $12 million to a guy like Curtis Samuel than going out and targeting. Well, Juju apparently wants to stay in Pittsburgh, but all these other guys who are going to be asking for $16+ million.
So my thing is, so yeah, to answer your question, yes, I prefer Curtis Samuel over the other wide receiver options, and that's just because dude, he has great yards after the catch potential, and he's one of those dudes who has kind of, I don't want to say rotted, but bro, he's on the Panthers, man. Like, what have they had to work with over the past couple of years? I don't think we've seen his full potential. Like, picture Tua like just targeting him nonstop. He's kind of running slants, downfield. It would be a good move, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw it. I was actually going to get him, and Dante Colonelli told me, "Yo, don't even." Jeff Schwartz was in his threads trying to tell people that Teddy Bridgewater had a better year than Tua last year. I'm like, what the hell were you watching, man? Because I had to go back and watch a bunch of the All 22 for my free agent list because I had Taylor Moton at number 2. And so I was watching a lot of the offense. Bro, Teddy Bridgewater is absolute trash. And another thing about Curtis Samuel, he was tied for 6th in the NFL, averaging 3.5 yards of separation per route.
I saw that, man. No, he's a beast separator.
Brother, Parker was averaging 1.7 yards, and Gesicki was too. That's literally double. You know what I mean? And he had 14 touchdowns last year. Give me that. Justin, bro, loved having you on, man. Make sure you come on more. Let's hear your final thoughts, brother. You're muted. You're good.
My final thoughts going forward as we sit right now as an organization is I don't want to overspend on any free agents. I don't really care who they are, but yes, I love Curtis Samuel. Would love to add that. I heard you mention the Tyler Mouton. That would be probably my first player to.
My thing is the money he's gonna. We're gonna have to pay him top tackle money, right? So like 15 to 16 million.
That's when I would be out right there, and we'll just work.
Yeah, I love him, bro. He was number 2 on my list behind Linsley.
I love him a lot. I'd love to put him at right tackle, but our free agency moves will determine where we're gonna go in the draft. I think that'll pave the way, and I think we just need to keep building around Tua and keep building up the line of scrimmage and add playmakers as we go. I think we'll be good. And then I'll see you guys on the next show.
I appreciate you, huh? Yeah, I'll be around tomorrow night, brother, at 8 p.m. Eastern. So if you're around, make sure you hop on, brother, because I always love having you on and talking because I know you watch film and stuff, brother.
Liam, man. I appreciate you having me on.
Of course, brother. You know what it is. Liam, I know it's like 5 a.m. in South Korea for you right now.
Yeah, man, good morning.
Good morning, brother. I hope you enjoy your grits for breakfast, bro, or go get some Korean barbecue.
That's too early.
You know what I'm saying? What are your let's get your final thoughts, brother. And you're hurting my heart right now that I made you a mod and you got a Bears logo up here, but I'll live with it.
I'll switch it up. No, to be fair.
No, I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing.
Nah, I think, like I said, I'm on that swell train, and I know that one individual in there say that he would get a receiver, but like I was saying there's no guarantee in the draft. I don't care. Even Trevor Lawrence, an injury, there he goes. Because he's supposed to be a generational talent. So I'd rather build the O-line. If unfortunate, something happened to Tua, he doesn't live up to the hype, I'm still a fan of the kid. Then you guys can plug in something else. At least the line is just, it's concrete. That's how I feel.
You know what's crazy about Chris Sims? This morning he's bashing the homie Tua and saying he's not a natural thrower. But in the same token, this is the same guy who said the Bears can win with Trubisky. Yeah, go figure that one out.
Yeah, even the Collinsworth guy, he's really on that side too about Tua. I was watching something where he said, Tua can play. I'm like, man, he was the hype man now, but it's okay. Yeah. It's fun. Somebody got to pay. Like Webb said, someone's gonna have to pay.
Agreed, man. And Richmond Webb on Twitter told me he's got a new one for me tonight when we record the finish line. So it'll be a new meme will probably obviously be coming. But guys, I'll be back tomorrow night. We'll be doing open round table. I'm sure the homie EM will make it. I know he had errands he was running. Hopefully the guys up here right now will have some free time and they can join. Sorty, brother, love you taking some time out to come. If you don't follow Sorty, check him out on Twitter at Fins. FINS or die. One of the best Finn follows there is. The guy makes me fucking laugh. Like 3 or 4 times a day, man. And I absolutely love Sorty. He's an amazing individual, man. He's amazing. Go follow him. Same thing with Justin. Go follow him at JPF Scout. He's taking a little break because the casuals are melting his brain on Twitter. But when he gets back, he uploads clips, gives you film breakdowns, does his thing. So he's definitely worth the follow. He's not one of these jabronis out here basing his opinions off of mocks and simulators. So definitely worth following, guys. All right. So until tomorrow night, y'all already know what
Appreciate
time
you.
it is. Fins up all day, every
Fins
day,
up.
baby.
Fins up.